harmonizers. Today I'm going to introduce you guys to a special horse. This is Caballero. This is his first session for you guys. Yesterday I brought him out and played with him a little bit so that way he could discover that I am a cookie person and that if he tries with his groundwork then he would be rewarded. So Caballero, it's a really windy day today if you can't tell from all the flapping noises of the tarp in the back that's on the hay. But so he's been given to me to restart. He basically has been bucking people off and doesn't let anybody ride him. In the little session that I did yesterday, I could tell that he's generally pretty calm, but he is very skittish of a lot of things. So it's important for him to learn to say yes to new tasks, but also that if he tries, he's going to be rewarded. So here I'm having to do a little bit of boundary setting, but I never get bothered by a horse saying, hey, can I have a cookie? Can I have a cookie? Because then that means that there's actually a hope and prayer that I'm going to be able to retrain this horse. If he was indifferent towards cookies, then it would be very hard. I'd have to find a different motivator to try to retrain him so that way he could discover that being a yes horse is actually a good thing. So what we're going to do today is I've got the saddle on him because I want him to associate a lot of these good feelings with the saddle as well. And if things are going well with some things that I'm going to send in between and other groundwork stuff, then I may do some stuff at the mounting block just so we can start chipping away at his bad behavior and letting him realize that he can actually be motivated and want to try. So this is Caballero, first time with the saddle on, doing a session here, second session overall. And I'm really hoping that we can get him turned around so that way we don't have to put him down. So, but that's basically his owner's wishes is let's get him started and get him safe, or she doesn't want to see him be passed around to other people. So the agreement when I took him on was that if I can't get him going, he's going to be put down. So it's a fair bit of pressure on me, but I'm hoping that we will be successful. All right, let's have some boundaries here and then get started.
Alright, so here's a little look at some of the things that we worked on. We practiced doing a few different kind of basic ABC things, and the full video of his training session I will be putting in the Connection Club for anybody who wants to see the full process of how we kind of move from one thing to the next. But here's a little look at some of the ABCs that we did. So practicing just kind of going forward and doing a little bit of lunging stuff, practicing some backwards. We also did sideways and shoulders and hips, and he did pretty well. And this is really an opportunity for him to discover that if he does good things and he tries, then he's going to get rewarded. So we don't just start with the most difficult tasks and save the rewards for then. We want to kind of establish a bit of routine with the horse that he's going to be rewarded and that it's okay. So here's where I started to use the ribbon wand a little bit with him, and you can see he was pretty scared of the ribbon wand. And I like using the ribbon wand over, let's say, like a normal sort of stick and string, because the ribbon isn't going to hurt him. Like even if I'm flinging it up on top of him, it's not going to, like when I go to touch him like that, it's not going to cause any pain to him. It's not going to hit him hard in any way, shape, or form. So I like it for that. And then this is fast forward to a different clip where I spent some time working with him on that, building up his confidence. And then now you can see with the ribbon wand, he's doing much better. I can fling it over his head. I can touch him with it on his face and things like that. So he's figuring out much better that he can handle that. And this is something that research has been done on different psychology and training of horses, where they've discovered, and I've known this for a long time, which is that if you use rewards, you can actually teach a horse to inhibit their natural response to something because they know there's going to be a reward. So he wanted to spook at the ribbon wand, but he learned not to spook because he knew that something good was going to happen for him. And they train pretty fast when you're using rewards, which is one of the big reasons why I like to use rewards, as well as it just makes the whole process so much kinder and nicer, I think, when I'm working with the horses. So here's a little look at his lunging. He's a stunning mover, very beautiful guy. So I really hope that I can get this horse turned around and little look over a little cavallari jump. And when I did the cavallari jump yesterday, he was a bit spooky at it, and it took a little bit to get him over it, and I apologize that I didn't film that for you guys. But anyways, it was nice to see that he made progress on it yesterday, and then he kept that progress into today where he did it on the first try. So here is a look at a little bridge. So this is his first time being asked to go up onto a bridge or a type of podium. And so you can see he's kind of like not really understanding. He's trying to go around it and not sure about what it is that I'm asking him to do, which is okay. It's his first time being asked to do that. So I'm just trying to keep him straight and a gentle feel on the rope to suggest that he should try forward motion in the direction over the podium. And he kind of wiggles a little bit. He doesn't think that he should put his feet on it. What's interesting is that he's not interested in sniffing it. So if he wanted to put his head down and sniff the bridge or look at the bridge, I would definitely allow that. But he's not interested. He's more thinking about how can he go around the bridge. And so there he finally thinks, oh, maybe put my foot on the bridge. So I'm giving him positive reinforcement there. And then I ask him to try again. Now, my timing of my positive reinforcement wasn't perfect on the last one. He put his foot on and I didn't have my reward ready. I did use my yes word, but he actually got the cookie when he was putting his foot back down. And then it's not like he had a bad experience, but he got stuck again and he was like, oh no, I don't know how to do that. So after a while of kind of waiting for him, I decided, well, I'm going to help you figure this out. And so I pick up his foot for him to place it on. And I'll only do that with horses that seem like they're pretty calm, but they're pretty clueless and are just kind of like, I really don't know what to do. And so when I put his foot on there for him, he brought his other foot up pretty easily. So I give him lots of rubs, give him a cookie, try to make it a pretty good deal for him that he went ahead and did that. And so I ask him to walk across and he kind of stumbles off the side. So not the end of the world. He doesn't get a reward for that, but he doesn't get he doesn't get punishment or anything like that, but he just doesn't get a reward. So we worked a little bit more on that. We did the other side as well, as you can see, and just trying to build up his confidence and being patient with him. He definitely had moments where he said no and just kind of didn't want to try. And so it took quite a fair bit of just kind of waiting on him. And here's a little look at when he was kind of saying no, as I'm being very gentle with that stick, but I'm trying to be like, hey, like you should try something. And he wasn't really interested in trying. And this is after standing there for quite a while. And so he says like, no, I can't possibly try. And this is all part of him learning emotional control. Me also discovering how much pressure I can put on him before he kind of says no in a big way. But also when I go to ride this horse eventually, I'm going to be touching him. I'm not going to be touching him in a mean way. And so the ribbon wand is a nice tool because, I can tag him a little bit with it where I touch him, but it's not going to hurt. Ribbons are not the same as like a piece of rope going at a horse. And so I want to be able to touch him. I want him to be able to feel that and not have a panic attack over it. But he's got to try something. Right now he's just standing there pretty sure that he doesn't have to participate in the task. And so this is all part of him learning like, hey, like you can look and you can discover. So it took a long time before he actually like engaged in the task and he lowered his head like that and was like, okay, fine, I will think about this thing that you're doing. And you may notice that I also grabbed another bridge. I have two of the exact same bridge. So I just put another one beside it so that way I could make it wider to make it a more easy task for him if he was going to step up onto it. I wanted it to be pretty simple for him that he could do it. And so here we're just kind of exploring touching it and actually at least listening and trying. And so after we did that for a while, then when I asked him to step up onto it, you can see he did 1 foot and I'm giving him his positive reinforcement there and kind of broke it down into the little steps for him. And then we asked for the other foot and he gets positive reinforcement. So it took quite a while, but it's an interesting process to go through, even though, I might have zero interest in doing obstacles with this horse as a competition sport or anything else. It's just so valuable in addressing a lot of the learning behaviors and training where we got to see a no response. We got to see him being not confident and not knowing what to do. And then he discovered that he could try and he could learn. And then that good things happened when he did try and he did learn. So I then tried, after we got comfortable doing the bridge one way, we explored doing the bridge going in different directions. And I'm just offering him positive reinforcement along the way when he adds another foot onto it, trying to build up his confidence with his back feet on the bridge. And so there he nearly stopped with 4 feet on the bridge, but he at least stopped calmly with his back feet on. So I give him some more cookies and move on to the next task. So I never like to drill my horses on a task. Once they kind of achieve it, we move on to something else. And then I always find when we come back to it next time, they do a much better job. So here, the next confidence building thing that I'm working on are some squeezes, which is where we send our horses between objects. So we went between the mountains there, now between a taller object, which is actually my rope gate, is that we're using there. And then now here, sending him around where the mounting block is. So just practicing sending him into some tight spots, making sure we're building up confidence. And all of these different things expose different weaknesses potentially in the horse's foundation. So we want to make sure we really address them, especially since this horse has a history of bucking people off and not letting people mount him. We want to make sure that we don't skip any steps and that we really kind of tease out where potential issues are. So you can see he struggled with the mounting block to start with. He spooked a little bit at it, and then this is fast forward to after I've been working on it for a little bit, as I'm going to show you his last little piece that he did. So we're practicing me leaning over him and him taking the cookie from the opposite side, because when he bends like that, he pushes his body closer to the mounting block, which is helpful for when you're getting on. So he does that really nicely and make a big deal about him. There somebody went into the cross ties, so he's drifting, not because he's scared of me, but because he's curious about the horse that just showed up, that you can kind of see their bum in the cross ties there. And so he did really well, and that basically wraps up his session with me. So I'd love to hear what you think of Caballero. I'm pretty excited for him. I'm really hoping that we can turn him around. And anyways, he's off to a really good start. So thanks for watching, guys, and we shall see you next time.